This episode has been brought to you by Faith Bynum, CPA PC. We're more than just taxes, and we're ready to help entrepreneurs and business owners reach their goals. We offer business strategy and development, nonprofit management, outsourced CFO and accounting department, and we serve as advisors for startups, small businesses, and entrepreneurs. You're building your dream. We can help you take it to the next level. Find us at faithbynum.com and 919-858-6807. We're Faith Bynum CPA PC, where people matter.
Yeah, we in the building. 4 times dope. Yeah, we known to get it live, man. 4 times dope. New level, keep it high, yeah. 4 times dope. Mic check, now we on it, we live.
I ain't started drinking until I started hanging around Jamie Patterson. First time I ever drank in my life. And we found a 40 of St. Ives. It was cherry. We found it on the ground and Jamie opened it. We started drinking it. We found it.
It wasn't open, so you should drink it. Somebody lost it.
Nigga, we found something. We found a beer and we started drinking. Anyway, but here's my point. Like, it's something about them dudes I met from Eastern North Carolina, man. They get, them dudes can drink. And I learned from my homie, Wayne Pitt. You all know Wayne Pitt, that most of those guys from that area started drinking around like 11 and 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like, and the homie told me like gin was what they grew up on. Yeah. Seagram's gin.
The bumpy face.
Juan, is that sound about right, Juan?
Hey man, listen. Before Snoop Dogg came out, all I knew was the green bottle, Tanqueray and Seagram's. Like,
right.
I knew what it was, and it's crazy because, like, the town that I live in, Roanoke Rapids, my mom actually lived in Littleton, and so when I got to middle school and high school, the two towns ended up going to the same middle school and the same high school. So my friends would come with me to my mom's house on the weekends. Mm-hmm. When we got to high school, because there was always Tanqueray, there was always gin, there was always Canadian Club, there was always NJ, and my mama kept the dates and natural lights.
The natties.
So when I got to college, I stopped drinking.
Now talk about
that's
the curve.
That's
interesting.
That's very interesting.
He stopped drinking because he had already started
drinking.
That's good.
That ain't good. That's bad.
That's the total opposite. I had never drank in my life, ever in life, until I got to college. That's my first time ever drinking, yo. When we found it.
It was nothing new to me.
It took you a while still, Jermaine. I like just knowing you throughout the years. It took you a while to actually get there. Because now when we go out, you will order a drink. But before, that wasn't always the case.
Right. You know what? I think too, Kashara, you may not remember this. Kwame, Kashara, Jamie, it was exam time. This was pushing towards junior, senior. It's like senior year. And we used to, during exam times, I guess to get knocked the edge off, after all the exams, we would go congregate at Applebee's over there near South Square Mall. And
it is adult time. Yeah, we were seasoned vets.
Right. And that's when I started drinking like white liquor. Kashara was getting me like, I don't know, Grey Goose. I don't know what it was at that point.
No goddamn Grey Goose.
You want Grey Goose?
We were not drinking up Grey Goose.
It was bottom shelf liquor. I bet.
Yeah, we were drinking some Russian shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it might have been some absolute. But I specifically remember that's the first time I had white liquor. Kashara ordered it. It was after exams. We all went to Applebee's. Because Applebee's was in the cut. You couldn't even really see it from the street.
No.
It was in the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, Jamie, or you was telling us about like that Freak Neat podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, so I actually listened to it and I enjoy it. I know people probably hearing it, you probably think, okay, Freak Neat podcast.
Right.
I feel like a podcast. I don't know if y'all got a chance to listen to it. I know we talked about it when we was all around each other, but
it's actually more than just Freaknik. It gives you like the whole, background.
Freaknik is the backdrop of it all, but yes.
Yeah, that's like the tie-in piece, but it's almost like about the culture of Atlanta and how it grew to be what it was as far as like the hip hop scene and just businesses and black, empowerment and all that. So it's pretty dope. But it's like two of the things that kind of stick to me in regards of that podcast was one, it was talking about the I guess like the seven counties that surrounded basically Atlanta, and about 4 of those counties didn't when they were trying to expand the MARTA train, I guess, to go to different counties. 4 of those counties rejected it because they was afraid of black people,
black ass,
into like in the city or to certain parts of Atlanta. And this might be old news, especially somebody from like Atlanta or Georgia or whatever period. And they was calling the joint was the MARTA, was it moving Africans through moving
Africans through Atlanta rapidly.
Yeah. I was like, yo, what in the hell?
M-A-R-T.
It was moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta. That's what it was.
Got it.
That's the MARTA.
Yeah. But give them some reference. The name of the podcast was called Freaknik, A Discourse on a Paradise Lost. It's by Mass Appeal and Endeavor Content.
Oh yeah,
that's just for your reference, but you can keep going.
Yeah, that's definitely if you had downtime, definitely check it out. It probably recorded maybe like 8 or 9 episodes. It was recorded like maybe like a couple years ago, but it's pretty interesting because it's not just about Freaknik, even though it's kind of touching on it, but they were just talking about the whole culture of Atlanta, and they kind of went into a little bit. Another piece that kind of stuck out was even about the hip hop scene, and in regards of how. Of course, when the hip hop scene in the early 90s, it was either like the East Coast rap, of course, West Coast, and like the South didn't really get the respect like that because it was known for like the booty music and down, whatever. So it wasn't, the lyrical part wasn't there. But I think it was either Big Gip or either Rico Wade from Organized Noise. I don't know if Organized Noise, who the producers for Outkast, Goody Mob,
right.
So Rico Wade, he might have been saying that like. When they grew up, Atlanta, it wasn't like it was in the East Coast of New York where, the guys, had like the headphones on, listen to rap and listen to the lyrical part of it. So down south, it was just like, okay, there wasn't no trains like that. People was in their cars. And so it was almost like the main thing was like the feeling, the beat for it. I never thought that closely about it. But the way he broke it down was really good. Like, it was just like, well, so the first thing they may hear is also how that joint sound, how it thumps, whatever, and so that versus the lyrical part. But I think when they were trying to get like the South to get kind of more props, you got somebody like Outkast who can actually rap, but it's from the South, but also speak the South slang, got the Southern accents, but they also got some lyrical content before it, which was different. It was different prior to that, really. You know what I mean? Because it was just more
because it was booty music back then.
Yeah. It must be like
I think
DJ Magic Mike.
Once Eric Sermon moved to Atlanta, I think that's when he brought that New York hip, when EPMD broke up, and then Eric Sermon moved to Atlanta, and he was actually part of that whole fueling of Freaknik. I saw a documentary with Eric Sermon talking about that. He was talking about how Ludacris was working at the radio station at the time.
Chris Lover.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all right. But I ain't trying to get nothing. I was just sharing it because it was kind of top of mind. I was like, yo, so like I said, we get a chance to check it out. I got a little downtown, whoever's listening, whatever. It's definitely a good little educational podcast, especially if you just learn about different cultures and stuff or different cultures within our own culture, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, so well, yep. So today, like I said, everybody's here, you know what I'm saying? We got myself, we got Jermaine, we got Jamie, we got Castaro. We also got Juan is joining us today. One of our classmates from North Carolina Central. Just kicking it with the fellas, whatever and stuff, just while we talking and just kind of doing.
Well, you got to give the man a resume. You just can't say it's just fucking wine.
Well, go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
I fed a wine,
sir.
Juan is a part. He is a part of the wrestling group. He is my tag team partner. We are 17-time Mid-Atlantic tag team champion of the world. 17. Are we 18? Did we lose? Where
19,
we at right
baby.
now?
19. We got that belt back.
19 times. The name of our group is Players Ball. That lets you know how deep it is for us with Outkast. Juan is he's an amazing man, but let's say where his volunteer skills are. He's been volunteering now for going on 26 years with the Marching Sound Machine at North Carolina Central University. He's the guy who takes all the pictures and makes everybody look like something. And with the university as far as athletics and even some official stuff. So he has a great eye. He owns MOI Photography. So if you need him, hit him up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook is MOI or Juan of MOI. Am I right?
Facebook is Juan MOI Photos.
MOI Photos. And on Instagram is what?
O1R.
O1R. You're supposed to get your MOI damn Instagram, Juan.
Yeah, right, man. My Twitter is Juan of MOI.
There we go. But Juan is the homie. So yeah, can't just throw him out there. Indeed. It's fucking Juan, but it's not fucking Juan. There's a difference.
Yeah, I can't
that's fucking Juan.
I came real casual with it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's not casual.
Yeah, why got Juan up here chilling with us?
Because he's so cool, one of the homies. That's why I went over like that. But Juan
but you just can't say Jermaine. Jermaine,
yeah, I agree.
Fucking ain't Jermaine. It's Jermaine.
But Juan has an impressive resume. I said that the last time we was together in person. I said we got to give Juan. You were right there, I think, when I said it. I said we got to give Juan his flowers, and there's no reason why Juan shouldn't be contracted out by North Carolina Central University or whoever. We're good. I didn't know.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah,
that's what's up.
So we got the homie Juan with us.
Right. Yeah. So we're glad you're here to join us.
It's an honor.
Thank you, Juan. We appreciate it. We're glad to have you,
bro.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, by the time this podcast hopefully released on time, this is released on Black Friday. So I think that we can just start, have a conversation about our thoughts and experiences with Black Friday. Yes, Jamie. So what's your thoughts about Black Friday? You got any stories or anything?
Sure. I think we got to give the people, some people, you know what? I have to do a small thing here. So I was with my barber yesterday, and he did not know what Different Strokes was.
The show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had to explain it to him, and I thought he was trying to play me, but no, he's like, no, I don't know. So when I was talking, like, Arnold is this person and Willis is that person, and he was really eating it up. So we have to.
He didn't know who Philip Drummond was?
Nope, he didn't know who damn Mrs. Was either.
Miss Garrett.
Didn't know who Miss Garrett was and how that played into Facts of Life. None of that matter. What are you talking about? He's 30, but he's a grown man.
Right.
So the point is, Black Friday now, to say my daughter, she don't know what it means. So to us, older folk, Black Friday is when sales were basically you get your company out of the red and into the black by giving these crazy sales where your TVs were normally $1,000 and now they're $200. That is an insane sale. So it gets people out their houses after Thanksgiving to these stores, and they go crazy to get these stupid sales.
Now on Thanksgiving,
which they gave thanks. That's the joke. I gave thanks for my health and everything, and then went to damn Walmart and got trampled.
Yeah, it's basically the official unquote quote I guess start of the holiday shopping season.
It certainly is. It's the beginning of the holiday season, and I remember distinctly at the Walmart. It's now at Trosa down off of Roxborough Road in Durham. So I went to Thanksgiving in Red Springs, came back home, and I went to that Walmart when it was still a Walmart, and it opened at 6 a.m. to let people in. Something said, you know what? Just stand back and watch. And I stood way at my car in the back of the parking lot and watched these people trample each other to get into that store. Damn. And when I went in, it was a wasteland. There was, of course, there was no registers open, y'all. What the fuck? And everybody's trampling on it and still fighting. So I remember that distinctly. And I also remember going to the Walmart in Pembroke, North Carolina, and standing my stupid ass in line for 3 hours for a TV. I think it was like maybe 7 years ago. But I stood. The only thing they saved me was headphones because I had my music in. I could focus and just play on my phone. But I felt stupid when I got a TV. I'm like, why did I could fucking go. I could afford a TV. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking it's a deal to get this little cheap ass TV or cheaper TV. I still got it now. Don't think I ain't got it. I still got that TV, but I stood in that line, and then I got to the front, and this damn Lumbee had the nerve to say, "Were you in line?" I wanted to backhand that lady, like, "Bitch, if you don't get out of my face, you just got that TV." Because I had all my teeth, I stood out, you know.
Right.
Motherfuckers looking at me like, hold on, who is you?
Why you even here?
Why are you here, Blackie? What are you doing here? Lumbees is racist as fuck. You think we racist? But yeah, I remember that distinctly. But yeah, those two things stood out to me the most. Like, why did I stand in line for a fucking TV when I could afford it?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I'm kicking it to gas real quick. What about you, man? You gotta.
So by now, I have Black Friday to a science, and I don't even really participate in Black Friday. It just falls in my hand every year. So for the last probably 4 years, like I said, I go to Roanoke Rapids, go to my hometown for Thanksgiving. Around 6 o'clock, my grandma got that heat pumping. I got to get some air. Gotta go. Hey, I want to go catch up with the homies. Where you go to your hometown, small town, to catch up with people, you go to the Walmart. And like Jamie, I started off just going to see people. And then I would find myself like everybody's going through and hey, there's still a ticket left for a TV. And I would actually call around, hey, I got a TV in my hand. Anybody need it? I don't need a TV. So for the past 4 years at least, maybe not COVID year last year, but I've gotten a TV for somebody. My lodge, we raffled it off. I raffled off a TV when I was going through the process of becoming a Mason. And each year, I never had any intentions of going Black Friday shopping. It's like an art. Things just come to me.
You're just that lucky.
Every year.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't even stress the lines because I know I'll go check the what do you call it? The customer service area. Because people put load up on stuff, but then they don't want it. So whatever I'm actually looking for, I don't go through the lines. I just wait till about 10 o'clock and go check up there, and I find everything I need.
Oh, it's a gym right there.
Right there.
That makes sense.
It's a damn genius.
Right.
Come on, I want to ask you, but I don't know. I should ask you, bro. I'll ask you later. But made me think about what you're talking about this. Jermaine, what about yourself, man?
You know what? I've never done Black Friday. Ever. I can tell you this, like I remember my sister-in-law and my cousins and stuff like that. I remember them getting up like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Because I remember this because we're all, when everybody comes back to my mother's, everybody's, but I remember, 1 year people were crashing at my mom's. And I remember people just getting up like at 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. But it's cold out, freezing out. But it just wasn't for me. Like I'm not moved. I'm not excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I'm really not a morning person like that. Second of all, I just don't feel like moving in crowds and moving early and having to talk early and move. I don't want to move fast too early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So
like, let me ease into it.
Right. But yeah, honestly, I've never in my life, I swear, I've never done Black Friday. I just go see it and buy the shit when I get there. You know what I'm saying? Or catch a sale or order something online. But I've never been a fan of.
You're such a single man right now. That's exactly what a single man would say.
Right. Hey, listen. That's okay.
You got to get in line for that fucking Barbie. You got to get in line for that fucking.
But even when I was in relationships, Sharina loved my ex. That was her thing. She would do it. I think her and my sister went a couple of times, but it it's just not me.
For you, yeah.
Maybe if I get married one day, my wife like, look, babe, we got to go.
Gotta go.
All right, whatever. But I'm like, Jamie, I'll throw some headphones in and just try to ease the sting. But yeah, it is what it is. So, hey, look, my Black Friday story is super dull. I'm sorry.
Hey, you don't have nothing like, hey, nothing wrong
with keep it real.
That's it.
Well, mine, as you said, he was speaking like a single man.
Yeah.
My first Black Friday experience was to prepare for the coming of my first child. So that she was born in January, so in December, I don't even think it was me who wanted to do it. It might have been, but I just remember the pressure of my wife saying, you need to go get that camcorder because we need to make sure we filmed it. So on Black Friday, you will be in that line with that camcorder. So I remember that. And I think we were in Winston-Salem. But it wasn't bad though. Like all the other stories I hear about or see on TV or people experience are telling me, like, and maybe it was a location or maybe I just got there in time, but I got up early, like at 6, like in the line. I was out there in like 30 minutes, in and out. Like I got, and maybe it was the item I want. I don't know, but it was not a bad experience. I was like, I got up. That's how it is. Cool. Like, I was in and out. So that was my first one. And after that, I might have went like 2 or 3 more times to get a TV. But yeah, it was never those stories you hear about. I never had those type of experiences.
Lucky you.
At all.
Lucky as Juan.
Yeah.
Mine's a more with Jamie. Like I said, I never been like kind of like, well, Black Friday. I normally really didn't care, but I don't know, this one year, it might have been like 8-9 years ago. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I saw some kind of great advertisement or something, but whatever it was, it moved me to be like, yo, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna get this deal. I don't even know what I was trying to get, to be honest with you, but I remember Best Buy was offering like all these prizes, I guess door prizes, like the first 100 people there or whatever it was they were saying. So I was like a dummy, got up, kind of saying like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. It was cold as a brick outside.
Right.
I mean, I got like freaking like thermals underneath myself, toboggans. I got freaking a big coat, everything. And so I'm up in this line, get there about probably like a couple hours before the store opened. I feel dumb telling that story. And then so
we're here now.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus. So by the time I was in this line, I might have been like the 5th, 6th person before the door opened and everything. So my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get whatever it is. I'm gonna give me a good, the good prize or whatever they was offering. Being like the first few customers or whatever there. I'm excited at this point. But like I said, so waiting in line out, almost 2 hours, get up in line, get into the Best Buy, get inside the Best Buy, whatever and stuff. So they gave like gift cards upon whatever it was. Long story short, by the time I don't even know what I got from, but I remember getting the gift card, but I was leaving out. That just was like a $5 gift card. I was mad as hell all weekend. Like I was mad. I was freaking heated, man. Like
you sold your body for $5.
$5, yo. I was freaking hot, yo.
It's Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I mean, it was cold. I was up there.
You spent your gas money to go down there and get you
$5 gift card. Exactly, man. I deserve every bit of that stupidity that I did, whatever. And I haven't broke my neck or did anything for the Black Friday since, man. Like now I'm just like, if I want it, I'm going to get it, man. I don't have to wait for no super sale. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing wrong catching sales, but to get yourself out there, wait early in the morning and trying to freaking haggle with people and all that, man. Like, it's not worth it to me. But for each his own, right. Y'all enjoy y'all Black Friday out there. Y'all be safe. And it's still COVID out here, so y'all.
I don't think they have Black Fridays like we think that they do anymore.
Well, Target and Walmart are closed.
Yeah, they shut it down. You got to go online essentially.
Well, they just announced it though, like today or yesterday. They just announced that. But before, like I said, prior to this, they were having Black Friday on Thanksgiving Day. Like people were leaving Thanksgiving dinner to go
to get the stuff.
Like I said, when the heat get hot, it was like, yo, I had to get up out, so I went to Walmart to hang out.
I'm gonna kick it down here, which I got down on here.
Everybody was there.
It's the place to be.
But it definitely has changed. But speaking of change, we have talked about bullying before, but not to this extent. And the only reason I want to bring this up again is because recently, actually yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
a good friend of mine had called me and told me that his son got into a fight at school, right? And the way the story was told, the son pretty much got beat up. But let me just set it up for you, and then I'll tell you where I'm going with it. So his son was wrestling with some guy, his friends at school. Mind you, he's 6th grade, wrestling with some friends. But
Definitely
this
wrestling.
other guy decided to interject that wrestling situation and actually wrestled his son down to the ground. I don't know why he targeted him, but he did. Wrestled him to the ground. The son got up and he pushed the guy, and then the guy punched him in the face. The kid didn't hit him back, so the quote unquote bully decided to keep punching this kid until whoever decided to break it up, and the kid didn't hit back. So when they came home, of course, it was reported to the parents from the school, and they were pretty much saying how they were just going to have a mediation with the 2 boys and the counselor, and they were going to handle it that way. Well, my friend was like, hell no, he pissed off. Like, I want to go to school. I want to talk to this kid's parents, all this type of stuff. He was like, I ain't cool with that. He was like, because they're not going to handle it the way I should handle it. The wife, on the other hand, she's saying, let the school handle it because you're just going to make matters worse. So hearing the story, I saw there was a lot of things to unpack with this situation. But I guess my question to y'all would be, if your child, and Juan, I'm gonna kick it to you first. If your child, you got word that your child, quote unquote, I guess, got beat up or was being targeted, and your child did not defend him or herself in that situation, and you get the call from the school and they tell you this is how they're going to handle it. You want to handle it one way, but your wife or
the mother
want to handle it another way. What do you do? How do you handle that situation? How would you handle that situation?
Good question though.
Well, I'm coming from a different angle. So the kids that I work with, they're special ed. Okay, but they're just like every other kid in America. You know what I'm saying? So we have those actual situations. And normally, so we have one situation where there's a kid in another special ed class. He's kind of like, he's a real bully. And he's above their level. And so I don't think that his punishments are good enough for what, like, they'll take his computer time maybe. And you do that when you act up. But the type of violence that he does to our kids is scary. So, and then the kids that I have, they get very distraught and they get tore up. So I have to teach them to defend themselves. If he hits you once, you hit him back and he'll leave you alone. And I know I'm wrong. But
you're right.
Computer time ain't the equal punishment for somebody who takes a basketball at point blank range, draws back and throw it at your head.
Right. Yeah.
You understand? And he's gonna lose computer time. He could have really hurt that kid. And because he only loses computer time, he don't understand the severity of what he just did.
He just don't.
He's not in my class. I can't discipline him. You understand?
Yeah,
but the kids in my class, I tell them to defend themselves. That way he will leave them alone. And that's the only way we can get him to leave him alone. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
answer in a general way, but I'm gonna kick it more specific. So say for example, like you have your daughter, and say when she was younger, like middle school age or elementary age, and somebody like was attacking like your daughter consistently, whatever, and you basically kind of how you told your students, whatever, how you should defend themselves. That's what you tell your daughter, but the mother of your child is saying something totally different regardless of dealing with it. What would be your approach of dealing with that? Like she was saying, but don't say nothing, don't do nothing, let the school handle it or whatever. Like, what would be your response if you and your daughter's mother's not on the same page of dealing with that situation?
that's kind of a tough one, man, because
it is.
We might not agree. We might not agree on a lot of things, but when it comes to my daughter, I've never questioned her mother's I don't know what the word is.
Her decisions, her perspective. Okay.
She's not gonna take nothing from nobody when it comes to Alyssa. So 9 times out of 10, we're normally on the same page, and I'm fortunate to have never had to be in that situation. And we've had the bully situation before, but it got handled, and we were pretty much on the same page. If we disagreed, I really don't know how to answer that question. I'm knocking on wood, thanking God that I never had to face that.
That's good. Yeah, that's knock on wood, definitely, because you definitely been blessed in that situation that y'all was on the same page with that. So
for real.
Jamie, what about you? How would you handle that if you and Faith had different perspectives on what Madison should do?
I'm normally wrong, and I mean that like not even being facetious. I'm very emotional. And I hope I wish I wasn't as emotional as I am. So I would take her lead on that. I could be right, but chances are I'm wrong when it comes to some shit in regard to parenting, because I'm just getting my training wheels on, let alone off. And she understands more than I would. So I would take her lead on it. I'd still be pissed off, and I would have my own thoughts about it, but I would probably be the one jumping over to let's go whip some ass. Yeah. But what does that lead to? Like probably jail time or some stupid shit I couldn't get out of. You don't want to go so far that you can't come back from it. Right. If it's a child scuffle, then it still is a child scuffle. However, you do want, the layperson does want validation. I want to be sure that, we get that motherfucker that got us. But is that the right? Can we come back from that?
Right.
Yeah. And other things could have to leave from that. I think that's what the wife was trying to say. Like, with the way you want to handle it, it's going to make matters worse, and we don't need problems. So let's let the school handle it.
I was saying the eye for eye does work, but at what point we're going to go? Both of us is going to be blind, and sometimes you got to take the ass whooping just to get past it. Because if you just sit and try to wallow in it and say no, then you'll be stuck in that situation. You'll never let it, you'll never let it go. So I would defer to my wife. That's the easiest way out, and it's actually the answer. I know what you're thinking. It's gonna get out of the way, bro.
Jermaine, what about you? What's your thoughts on this? And let me be clear. I mean, I did pose a question as if, you have different perspectives as your child's mother, but just in general, because like I said, we got nieces, we got nephews. Right. We still have thoughts about this, how we would handle it. Even it's different when it's your child, feel differently, but just in general, like how would you handle it when the perspective is different, how to handle the situation?
Right. I mean, I have all nephews, man, and I look at them like they're my nephews, children, and all that good stuff. And I think for me, honestly, it doesn't matter. It could be one of my homeboys. If it's time to ride, it's time to ride. I'm just cut from that cloth. Like, it is what it is. But in this case, though, I think we got to go back even further, right? Mm-hmm. But even before the incident, and I'm not saying that this mom and dad didn't, but, and again, I'm basing this off of how I was raised. Mm-hmm. I grew up around nothing but bullies. You know what I'm saying? I had this conversation with my sister the other day. Like, I'm not lying. Even some family members were bullies. And I think that's probably why I don't have a problem rumbling at all. I've never had a problem rumbling. I ain't saying it's right, but that's the easy part. Mm-hmm. But I think part of this whole thing with raising children is at some point we got to come to terms with them understanding that you defending yourself is a big part of life. You're always going to have to walk through life defending yourself. Mm-hmm. And your physical characteristics and your mental characteristics and your emotional characteristics play a role in how many times you're going to have to consecutively defend yourself. If you're too big, if you're too tall, if you're too short, if you're too whatever, if you're too dark skinned, if you're too light skinned, those are grounds where you have to defend yourself. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a boxing family. I was taught boxing. I was taught kick ass first, how to box second. If somebody does this to you, my mom would always say, somebody, don't bother anybody. If they hit you, get busy. Well, she didn't say get busy, but she said something else. Mm-hmm. Okay. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying we need to be raising like Taliban warriors, but I am saying that it needs to be a clear understanding that, hey, if this, put them in scenarios. If this happens, I'm talking about before this is a scenario. If this happens, this is how we want to handle this. Because there is a time, I believe. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this as an educator, and I'm sure principals and assistant principals would agree, and teachers. There's a time where you just have to throw them hands, because now it's you're defending yourself. And they hit me in my face once, okay, still on your ass, but they hit me in my face repeatedly. At that point, you need to, you can get hurt. Yeah. What if he fell and hit his head or bumped his head? So I think, right. I think parents, all I'm saying is, I think first, before I'm going to address the bullying thing, I mean, being on the same playing field, but I think first parents need to address what it means to defend yourself and in what situations it's okay to defend. That's first. Because having that under, just pushing him, yeah, I'm defending myself, but it didn't resonate. To me, it sounds like it didn't resonate what mom and dad said about defending yourself. Because if that would have resonated, okay, boom, let me, whatever. All right. But in terms of communicating, but that goes back to effective parenting. And again, I'm not saying they're not effective parents, but this supersedes everything, right? Even if they're living in two different households, you're talking about the safety of this child. So this is a conversation that should be solidified. It's almost like when you start dating somebody, you need to know what they like, what they don't like on all levels, from traveling to sex to everything. So as a parent, yeah, you may have one that's diplomatic. You may have one with some ass, but you need to agree on this median. Okay, this happens. Here's where we are. Because men, we are emotional and we are territorial, and not to saying that women are not, because there's some women out here who will ride too. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying she's right actually, but she's more thinking critically where he's thinking emotionally, right? Right. And the way and what he wants to do, it will open the door for more severe consequences. But I'm just saying, as parents, you need to be on one accord. Now, however, they can take her route and diplomatically handle it, but also he can set something up by way of the school with that boy's parents and just have a dealing discussion and tell that little boy in front of his parents, because I'll look him in his eyes and say, don't you ever put your fucking hands on my child again. And I would say it in front of his parents.
That's what he says. That's one of the things he want to do. That's one of the things he actually wants to do.
Yeah. So first he needs to, because I would give it a day, calm down, let the sweat dry, go back to it, go through the school to mediate it so it's legally and it's documented, and then still have that conversation with those parents and say I can't tell because that's me, but I will say that how I just said it in front of his parents to him, and they can take it how they want to take it, right? Because they're dealing, that's a ticking time bomb. That bully, that's a ticking time bomb, and he's gonna get his parents in some serious trouble if he doesn't.
They already been in trouble. This ain't their first rodeo. Right. He got trouble fucking kindergarten.
Right.
Based on some of the stories I heard, this kid, this ain't his first time. So you're right. So I really, Corn, what you think?
I'll give you two answers. Can I add some context to this, or
yes, yeah, sure.
All right. So I'm a little aware of the story. So the kid is a very smart kid, very, very academic, like a real good kid. So he's real laid back, whatever, and stuff like that. He's real laid back and got a laid back personality. And I think because of the laid backness of it, whatever and stuff, I think, like kids, you just test other kids, whatever. And so I think when the bully, started, I guess, to attack him or hit him or whatever like that, maybe his reservation, because I don't know if you said it in your context here, but he didn't really hit back or try to hit back, right, Kashar?
Well, he did when after the bully took him down to the ground, he got back up and he pushed him, and then that's when the bully punched him in the face.
But kept punching him, right?
Yeah, until somebody broke it up. Yeah.
So my point is, so I don't know as far as like the kid goes, like that might be his very first confrontation. I'm not sure it is or not, but if it is, he might not know what to do in that case in the first place. So he might have been on like in a in between stage, like what do I go full blast, but I'm gonna get in trouble by the school. I'm gonna get in trouble. My parents going to do, could make that conversation never happen with him, whatever and stuff. So he probably didn't know what to do in that situation, first of all, and then two. I think that, but I do think it's somebody to talk about it, and I kind of vibe with the father a little bit more. The mother might. I can kind of see like it's the way you're going about doing it, but also I think as a male, certain guidelines it's gonna set a presence for other things. Because like once that happened, it wasn't just him and that other kid getting into it. He got the other kids looking at that same situation. Right. His own little homies up here seeing this. And you know how you that age, you friends with somebody one day, and then 2 days, 2 days later, you're not friends with them no more. A week later, you're not friends with them no more. And now they sizing him up, and they're like, "Yo, okay, this little, this guy, he's not going to do nothing back if he get attacked." That's why I could be nipping in the bud. It's not to be starting anything or starting trouble, but defending yourself. And he has to know about, okay, what am I allowed to do as a, for myself to defend myself without getting in trouble with my parents? I may get in trouble with the school still, but my parents on the same page knowing that the way it is. I know he don't know as a kid, but I think from the parent standpoint, that's what something they have to do because like, yo, you catch that L, you catch the L, and if you're there fighting still, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Right.
Even if you catch the L, and people will know what dang he lost, but he'll go
he'll fight.
Right. Other kids will still think twice before testing homeboy because you know what? They're like L, but he will throw them hands with you. So sometimes you gotta do that just to make sure other people not to know. Because once that happens, they see that he won't do nothing, or they think he won't do anything,
they're gonna try you.
Try him, man. I'm trying to tell you, and we know this as guys. We know this as I think sometimes it's women know it too, like Jermaine said. But sometimes I think women doesn't get that part. Some women don't get that when it comes to that male territorial type thing, whatever, because they're thinking very diplomatic about it. Now, I do think it's certain things you have to go about doing it, like Jermaine said, letting the principals or authorities know about what's happened, having a conversation. All needs to happen.
Yeah, I ain't gonna let it ride.
But if somebody hit you or somebody doing it, you need to try your best to try to make sure you do what's that you defend yourself, because they go not just in the elementary, it's going to go in the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that now. You try you the next grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever you can do. You know what I'm saying? But you can change. You can beat up in 6th grade, and by the time you get 9th, 10th grade, you be a whole different guy. And you ready to throw those hands in, you like whoever catch the fade, catch the fade. But
that part.
We'll be throwing the fade,
but you're right though. You're right, and one of the things you said kind of stood out to me because you said people watching and those things. People not gonna forget. They're gonna always remember. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it goes back to what Jermaine said too. People sizing you up and seeing how you carry yourself and all that stuff. And I remember my very first fight was I was in 6th grade. Mind you, y'all know I was going through a lot at that time. I was like in transition, but I just was, my grandma had just died. So I was not in a good space. And I just remember going to class and this guy named Charles Taft, I don't know what he said to me. He said something and I just snapped. And I remember like pushing him, and all I remember, next thing I saw, it was just black. Like he hauled off and he just whapped like right in my face. Like he stole me. And I didn't know what happened. Like he hit me so hard, I went back up against like the wall. But all I remember is next thing I know, like I just attacked and like we were just going at it. You know. Right. Long story short, I did lose. However, everybody remembered that.
That's honest as fuck.
Yeah, I lost. But I remember even the teacher, Mr. Jordan, he came back because he was out of the room. He was like, "Hold up, you fought?" I was like, "Yeah." He laughed like, "I just can't believe you was fighting. Like, that's not who you are." Yeah, it was like that. But I remember after the classes later, everybody was talking about the fight or whatever. And even though I had lost, I just remember hearing the rumbles. It was like, yeah, Kishara, like, yeah, he took it, but he got some on him too. Like, yo, you better not mess with him. Like, you know, like he didn't just take it. And so people that stuck with people through from 6th grade all the way through 12th. Like, I never got another fight after that. But the fact that I lost, but I still went at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people like nobody tested me after that. And I don't know if it was because of that, but people always remembered that.
That's exactly what it was from.
Like,
That's
you
right.
held
That's
your
exactly
own, like you held your own, you know, like they always remember that. So those are things you do have to think about because you will be a target if you don't protect yourself.
You definitely will be a target. Okay, boys.
Go ahead, Jamie. My bad.
I'm about to transition. You better. You know, I ain't got no transition skill set like you do, the transition guy.
Oh man. Hey, listen. Okay, so look. So speaking of injuries.
Oh.
Speaking of injuries. No, I was just playing. So look, real quick. So first of all, we're due for another vacation, all of us. Like seriously. It's time to look at me as a single guy saying this shit. I know you guys are married, whatever, but it's time for us to take another vacation. So speaking of that, we'll come back to that. I remember the first time I took a cruise ever. We went to Puerto Rico, and it didn't go well for me at all. It didn't go well. Because I got sick, super sick, super sick. I was nauseous once we docked when the boat left. It took me like 2 days to recover on a 7-day cruise. So I guess my question to you all is, and I'll come back to that in a second. Like, have you guys taken a vacation and while on vacation, you got injured or you got sick, you weren't able to, you know, kind of enjoy yourselves part of the time, the whole time, or can you think of a time where you might have got food poisoning on a vacation or something like that? Or again, injured.
Who you want to go?
Jamie.
As a matter of fact, I did. My last vacation, we went to Vegas for our boys Phil, his bachelor party. And, you know, over the break, I found that I have gout. It wasn't, I told you I was bursitis, but it's fucking gout.
What?
So, yeah, it's bad. So with gout, you can't do any fish because of proteins or something that are in your system, and it turns into crystals, and those crystals can't get out of your body, so they stay in your joints.
Right.
It's known to be in your toes, but in my case, it's in my elbow. This elbow right here.
Right elbow.
So yes, I go on the plane, and when I leave Raleigh with a leak. One of my frat brothers a leak, and we are on the plane. He gets liquor. I'm not supposed to drink liquor. I'm not supposed to eat fish.
Right.
That's one of the things. The two things, and drink beer, beer, liquor, and fish. I'm not supposed to have any of those. Not in big portions, or else I need my pills and shit. That's how old we've gotten. I have to fucking take pills. So I get on the plane, and I'm thinking, let me try it. And I hit some old, what was it? Some fucking liquor, and I drank it. When I tell you my arm was on fire at the Rick Ross concert,
what?
I left the concert. I didn't even see him, and I saw Juan coming in while I was going out. I said, I gotta go.
It was that bad?
It's really that bad. It's where, imagine you can't flex your arm. It's your arm. You can't flex your fucking arm. It's dead. And if you move it, it's like the end of the world. It's basically crystal just balled up in your body. So I was toast for the whole day. I had to smoke some weed. Thank God for Vegas and legal LB hooked me up with some weed, hit some weed, and I stayed in that bed the whole Sunday because that Saturday that shit caught. It jumped on my back.
Yeah, I was texting you. I was worried about you that.
I was like, I don't know if I can go home.
Yeah, I remember.
But like, I got to live in Vegas because I don't think I can put this shit on the plane. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
So I've been, certainly trying to get my life in order because I need to get off of this stuff. So Yes,
Right.
the answer is yes. I was fucking injured all of what? When did dog get married? We went in April.
That was like summertime.
Uh,
Right?
June.
I'm way off. June?
End of June. June.
Yeah, that was my last flare up.
Wow,
Oh,
that's good.
That's good because November about to be December.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
You had no
mean,
fishes,
I
man?
have a. If I don't want to do something, I have a good disposition where I don't do it.
Right.
But my dumb ass tried it because I was on vacation with the bros. Fuck the bros. I'm not gonna do that shit, dog.
Right.
I
Yeah, my
wanna
homie
drink
got
beer.
that too. He said that's some painful stuff, man.
It's crazy painful.
Right. Juan, what about you, dude?
And I can't really say that I can't really think of nothing, but I will say this: on my honeymoon, apparently, in Mexico, apparently I forgot not to get my drinks with ice.
Oh,
Not because you had ice.
I had ice.
Everybody
It's
wasn't ready.
water that you're not supposed to have. So I wasn't necessarily sick, but when I got back, oh yeah, Montezuma was real.
The Montezuma's revenge.
He got his revenge on my ass for about 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, the shits.
It was bad. It was real too.
Dang, Juan.
Yeah,
That's
man. I
crazy.
thought I was doing the bottled water, but I'm realizing that I got drinks with ice in it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Right.
When did you find out that was the reason? Was it on the trip, or I mean, like, was it later that you found out?
It started flaring his head. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of,
No, my question is, when did you realize, oh, I got the ice and I shouldn't have had the ice in my drinks? Was it on the trip or like when you got home?
You know what? To be honest with you, it might have been like in recent years.
That's what I'm saying. The epiphany
Like,
hit you like
at the
that's
time,
what it was.
like at the time, I thought I did everything correctly, but I was like, I did have ice though.
Right.
Yes. And ice does not.
That's interesting. Hey, Juan, that's interesting though. How you look back in retrospect and you pinpoint that one thing.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have ice in Mexico? Is that what I'm
Because
hearing?
you're not supposed to drink the water.
Right.
So, but I didn't drink the water. And at the time I wasn't a big water drinker anyway. So, I was drinking probably sodas and I didn't drink. Like I said, I stopped drinking in college. So I was not a drinker. Like when I did the toast at my wedding, I took the smallest sip just to say that I took the toast. I didn't like drink at all. So I was drinking sodas and juice or whatever. But I do believe a couple of times I actually had ice. Yeah, and I'm just realizing that, like, not at the time when it happened. This is what 20 years later.
That's interesting.
That's the truth.
It's still water. You're right.
Just because.
What about you, man?
Question.
What you said, Jermaine?
I was saying, Kwame, what you?
Actually, mine was before I went on the trip. So, December 2006, I got an injury playing basketball. I tore my patella tendon, but we had already a group of us, because Charlotte, of course, was there. We booked a trip to the NBA All-Star game, went to Vegas in 2007. So that was like February. So I was on crutches since like December, but I already paid for the trip, the flight, paid for and everything else. So I was just like, I'm still gonna go.
I'm going.
Went to this joint, whatever. We and literally, I was just like there on crutches. I was a cripple guy. I was out there. I couldn't really go up and down the strip or anything like that. So the majority of the trip, I just stayed either in the hotel we was at, and that we was on some off-brand hotel too. I don't know what it was, but
can you remember what part of the strip it was?
It was Treasure Island.
What Treasure Island?
It was across the street from there. It was across the street from there. I remember seeing
Caesar Palace. It was. I remember like yesterday. It was next to Bally's. It was across from Caesar Palace, but it was like something.
So it was not Treasure Island.
It wasn't Treasure Island.
I don't know why I thought it was that.
That's what
It was probably
the same
Planet
lines.
Hollywood.
No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't that either. It was something you never heard of. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, it was really off-brand.
Yeah, but it was part of the package deal. But it was across from Caesar Palace, and it went next to the Bally's. It was in the middle of the strip, but it was like you probably walk by, you wouldn't even know what it was, because that's how off-brand it was. But it was right in the middle of the strip because it was like, it was plenty of traffic going. So in this All-Star weekend, Everybody across the country was there trying to see celebrities, but all I stayed was right inside of that hotel, and I might went into the front, like posted up, my crutches, sitting there looking up and down.
If you'd have got down the strip, they thought you played ball.
I don't know what they thought, but I didn't have like, it was just like I feel like I was in one place the whole time, and I think I went to Caesar Palace like cross street like one time the whole time, but that was my whole like 3 days where we was there for. I did nothing else to stay there, so it was just like I was so limited on that trip. That might have been like my second or third time to Vegas, so but yeah, so that was my trip. It wasn't the best, but yeah, it was injured and out of commission.
Right, got you. For sure.
Yeah, I've been sick on a few trips. I think my worst one was my first time in Chicago. When me and Kwame went, that was my first time going to Chicago, and I got sick because I think I just had dental something with my mouth. I just had something going on, and so they prescribed me pain medication. So I was on the Percocet, right? So
Percocet.
You gotta read the prescriptions, people. Like, read your prescriptions because you're only supposed to take it if you're in pain, right? For a certain amount of days. But my dumb behind, I was fine the day we left for the trip, but my dumb behind still took the Percocet, not needing it, right? Took it before we got on the plane. I don't think I really ate anything, really. You're supposed to take it with food. So I think by the time we got there, you might remember, because I just remember we did check in. I think we might have went and got something to eat, and we were supposed to go out that night or something. Or we might have. I don't know. All I know is I was messed up, like throwing up. Like,
well, what happened is, we got the Chicago style hot dogs from a place near the hotel.
And that shit is not a regular hot dog.
They got all that kind of stuff on it. I can't even think what it is, but it's a lot of yeah. So you got that. And then we went out after you did drink something along with that.
Liquor?
Yeah, I drank some. Yep. So I mixed some that for nasty food, and I had alcohol all on top of this Percocet. Yeah, on top of the Percocet, and it was a wrap by the time we got back to the hotel. Like, I think you had to call the ambulance or something.
Damn, ambulance!
You went to the emergency room.
Yeah, I remember something happened. Yeah, they had to come get me out the hotel room.
Bring them.
The first night, I was like, damn.
The very first night.
Yo, our lives is like Hangover, black
bro,
version.
You gotta give us the rest of that story. So, do you remember anything? Kwame, can you tell us what happened? You get to the hospital, he stays overnight or something? Like, what happened?
I don't think he stayed overnight, but I think he was there for a period of time. It was like part of the night, because like we had went out, like we went out to exploring the city and everything. Went trying to just hanging out. First time in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Lovely city, great city. And by the time we thought, because we would cut the train, I believe. So by the time he got back, his stomach was hurting real bad, and it was like in knots and everything. So he was in this pain. I can't remember. So we had to call the ambulance. That's how you got there, right? But I remember,
I was in the
ER.
Yeah, they called the ambulance.
We was there probably it was like most of the morning, most of that night, overnight, and they probably let him go. Maybe like once things kind of calm down, they give you like the hydrate,
the IV, and hydrated me,
stuff like that. I can't remember they prescribed you anything in that. By that time, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning or something like that. Man, it might have been the next morning. It might have been like 6 in the morning or something like that. It was real like early that morning. And then by that time, I think you came back to the hotel. Then I think the rest of the trip was cool.
Yeah, after that first night, it was just a wrap.
He was dope sick.
It was
dope sick. And he finally came back around.
How long was the trip?
We were there from like Thursday to Sunday. Yeah, it was Thursday.
So that was the Thursday.
Well, at least you had time to recover.
Yeah, I think
luckily I recovered. Yeah, that's what I was like. But it was the first night. It was crazy. I was just like, my dumb butt just took medicine that I didn't even need to take.
Gotcha. You was just taking your prescription, so you thought, but it was for pain.
Right. I didn't even know you had the medication part of it until just now. I don't remember. I forgot.
Because I didn't take it on the trip. It was the last pill. I took it right before we left.
It was the only pill left in that bottle.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm good. I took my medicine. I'm ready.
I did my job.
Yeah, backfire.
Took that dope, nigga. That's what you did.
That's right. It was on that dope.
Had him knotted up.
So
doubled over.
Mine is a little bit. It's not as severe as Kashar's, but I was mentioning to you guys, I went on a 7-day cruise, my first cruise ever. We cruised from Miami to Puerto Rico, and it was all good. I didn't eat a lot on the way there. So we fly in, we get on a boat. And I'm just like, I'm looking at this boat like this thing is huge, man. Like it's like a skyscraper on water. And I just noticed when we were leaving, it just felt different. It just felt so different. And you could feel that huge boat moving. So probably like 2 hours in, I started getting more nauseous and more nauseous. So I went and took a shower just to try to, calm down.
Take it off.
Man, let me tell you something. I saw that water on the floor in the shower doing like this. The water just going. I just called Earl in the shower. I was just throwing up in the shower. I was just throwing up. I was just giving it up.
Throw up other than the fucking toilet. So
man, that was the worst. And I think for like a day or two, I felt like heavy, like I had a lot of food and I couldn't move or something. You know what I'm saying?
So,
but it took about.
So you were seasick? Was that it?
Yeah, I was seasick. It was my first time being seasick. It took about. Probably took about a day and a half, but you know how on cartoons when they seasick and it's green, their face is green. That's exactly how I felt. I felt like that. You know what I'm saying? And every time I smell food for like 2 days, I just wanted to Earl. Every time
you were sick.
So ever since then, though, I get that. What is it, Dramamine or something like that?
Dramamine. So. Did they prescribe you Dramamine when you finally came to, or did you?
Well, some folks who we went with, some older women actually had some.
Yeah.
Like once they found out I wasn't feeling well, then they slid me some.
And I think I have Dramamine in my bag right here.
Oh, hey, you gotta keep it with you, boy. Gotta keep it with you.
I just thought about something. My last family reunion was in Denver, so I do actually have one where I was out of commission. That altitude had my head on fire. And I just remember we drove to the Red Rock.
We don't know.
Denver. Yeah, and I was
like a concert venue out there.
Huh?
Red Rock like a concert venue out.
Yeah, they was having a concert. And I just remember that the drive we went to the Broncos Stadium, and then we drove to Red Rock. And I was cool. And it's like once we started like going up the rock, like I just thought I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was like, yo, I couldn't breathe. My head spinning.
Right.
And then I thought like I was getting worried, like, oh my gosh, am I about to have a heart attack or something? And then when we got to like the part of Red Rock where you're about to go up, I think my sister said something. She was like, man, hold up. She was driving. She was like, let me stop on break for a minute or something. And I knew it wasn't just me. So then I was like, woo.
It ain't me.
Then, like, we had to roll the windows down and just get air going up there. And then after we got back into Denver, I stopped and got some Dramamine. And then I was good. But that was the worst feeling, man.
Right.
I feel like your lungs was closing in on you.
Man, it was like the worst headache, and it was kind of like nausea.
Worst feeling.
That's something for us down south people. We don't get that high elevation stuff.
Yeah, Walt, you remember my cousin Walt, right?
Yeah.
His mom, we actually had to take her to the hospital for the same thing, but hers was so bad she had to go to the hospital. She was in the hospital during the family reunion.
They're taking all y'all out on it.
So you need to go down to the damn beach.
I'm feeling it.
Running up Colorado.
I mean, at that point, you like 4 or 5 miles above sea level now, right?
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
And then, like I said, we was in Denver, so I was all right. But then, like I said, to go to Red Rock, you got to go up some more.
Jamie, so question before you transition to our next dose of dopeness. So why do you just have Dramamine on you? Like for what? Flying?
They're small little tablets, and it's like you don't want to just throw them away, so I just got them in my bag. It's the size of like Carmex.
I know what it is. I'm like, why do you have it? Like,
why is it your purses?
I was on a cruise. I've been on a cruise.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think I still got the rest of mine too somewhere.
Yeah,
probably still in the bag.
One.
Right.
So, yeah, I just got them in my
Does it expire?
bag.
That's some.
I mean, it's fucking drugs. Them drugs don't expire.
You can get over.
Yes, they do. Hey man, my mom be doing that, man. Be finding like tablets from like 2002. Be like, yeah, take this.
Yeah,
it's still, my mom taking that.
This shit is inanimate. It ain't got no
All right.
See, you crazy. You sound like
power.
It's like, just take it. It's expired like last month. I was like, I don't care if it expired yesterday. I'm not taking it.
It's like using a condom from 1998. I'm not doing
that. Why would you do that?
I found this in my yearbook, girl. Come on, get this.
Keep playing these games.
Just lay down. All right, fellas, let's call our our dose of dopeness. This week we decided to pick one of our political friends. It's my fraternity brother, Mr. Zach Hawkins. He's known as Representative Zach Hawkins. He represents North Carolina State Representative of House District 31. And Zach believes in a better North Carolina. He's a pragmatic progressive. The story goes like this. When we started Subject to Change, it was Zach Hawkins and I over at Karen Creed's house. That's how far back we go. So Zach went to Elizabeth City State University, and then he graduated, came to North Carolina Central to, I think, get his biology degree, his master's in biology. And then we just started kicking it, and we became close friends, and we still kicking it now. And he's the representative, and he will be the fucking president. You heard it first, and it's November 24th, 2021.
Right.
Well, my guy Zach Hawkins, watch out for him. You can find him on his website, ZachHawkinsNC.com, and that's ZACK. His IG is Zach Hawkins NC. His Twitter is also the same, Zach Hawkins NC. And if you want to connect with them, the email address is connect@ZachHawkinsNC.com. He's a great guy, has a beautiful wife, Miss Tracy Van Hawkins, and they have 3 beautiful boys. One's 20, one's 5, and I think one is 3. So there's a beautiful black family over in Durham. Look out for him, Zach Hawkins. Follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's our daily dose of dopeness.
Which kid was it, the 20-year-old that I put the wrestling mask on for?
No, it was the middle child. I think it was James. Yeah, you blew his mind.
Blew his mind, boy.
Blew his mind like, holy shit, it's a wrestler in real life. What you got for us, Kasharo?
God, I still can't get over the 1998 condom.
I think it was JP.
But anyway. Oh, Jesus. So thank you guys once again for tuning in and checking us out. Be sure to follow us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at 4x Dope Podcast. If you're interested in promoting your business or product, and you would like to sponsor an episode of ours, you can hit us up at 4x Dope Podcast at gmail.com, or you can hit us in the DMs as well. Also, be sure to check out our merchandise. It's subject to change at www.shops2c.com.
Hey, rest in peace, Young Dolph. Yeah, cut off that damn killing
right.
shit.
Yeah, man. Stop the violence, baby.
Sincerely.
And we got to celebrate that small but good victory of the
Arbery. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.